Alright you guys, so today we're going to be doing the long-awaited power bond version of Cyber Dragons.
YugiNoNo!
So the last Cyber Dragon deck profile I did was going over the rank 5 build, the brilliant rank 5 build, the more combo-centric build. This is like the exact opposite. This is go second, power bond, and win the deck. Like, that's what it does. And really that's what Cyber Dragons have done since they've come out. They have always been an OTK style deck through power bond. Power bond is a great card, but I have said this a million times. What this deck is lacking is a power bond searcher. If this deck had a power bond searcher, the OTKs would be insane. They would be unstoppable. But since we do not have a power bond searcher, we have to make do with what we have, and that is exactly what I did here. Although I need to note real quick that the deck list that I sent Team Samurai was not complete. It was not as optimal as this one because I forgot some things. I'm really sorry if you're watching this, Sam. I didn't mean to do that. There was just a lot of things that came up in testing that build, which led me to make this one. But now, with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into this. All right, guys. Of course, this starts off with 3 copies of Cyber Dragon. Always the legend. Always, you have to start the profiles with the Cyber Dragon itself. You have to. This is, your free special summon level 5 beater. I mean, it's the heart and soul of the deck along with Cyber Dragon Core, because Cyber Dragon Core gets you a search for your search card, and you can banish it from the graveyard and summon a Cyber Dragon from your deck. I feel like I've said this 100 times now, guys. I've done so many Cyber Dragon deck profiles. It just feels like I've said all this like so much. And then you have a Cyber Dragon Dry, okay? And this is the power bond build, of course, so you need to have more names for the power bond. So Dry is way better than Zwei, so you play the 3 Dry. So these are your 9 standard Cyber Dragon monsters that you play in any power bond version of Cyber Dragons. I mean, these are the 9 best Cyber Dragons. Zwei kind of sucks, Proto Cyber Dragon kind of sucks. You have to play just these are the best ones. I mean, they are just the best ones. And then to help out with combos and stuff, you got to play Galaxy Soldier. This is basically kind of an extension of the standard Cyber Dragon build that I've been playing for a long time now. And it's because it's a level 5 light machine. You get to pitch a card to summon it, special summon it from your hand. It searches another copy of itself. It's just a really good card. I mean, it's so good. And in this build, I play 1 Jet. And the reason why I play just 1 Jet is it actually works well with Gofu. And the reason why you play Gofu is because I found that if you don't get a power bond, which is the deck's win condition, you need to be able to do a double Nova and be able to OTK to get, the deck's win condition off, which is like to reduce life points to 0 very quickly. And if you don't have power bond, you have to have the double Nova to be able to do that. And to get to that, you have to have link monsters these days. You just have to, and that's where Gofu comes in. Except I don't play 3 Gofu because I kept drawing 2 of it, and it kind of sucked drawing 2. Especially if you special summon this, you can't activate Dry's effect, to make it a 5 and stuff. So yeah, I just got tired of drawing 2 of it. It's just really good. And then Jet's searchable off of Cyber Repair Plant anyway, so it's not that big of a deal to just play 1 in this build. Although in the other build, 3. You have to play 3 in the rank 5 build. Speaking of which, if you guys are interested in the more combo-centric version of the deck, I'll be sure to have that deck profile at the end screen of this video if you guys are interested in the more crazy combo deck that I was talking about earlier. But this deck is just an OTK deck, which is why you play the Kaijus too, because these get over anything, out Masterpiece, out like anything, like literally anything that is in your way. There's a Kaiju for that, and you main deck Kaijus. This is go second the deck. It's power bond the deck. This is what you play. This is what you play. Jizukiru is also searchable off of Cyber Repair Plant, which is really good. And these guys just get over anything, get over something and then power bond and win. I mean, that's just how the deck functions. Last card to play is Maxi because, you have to be able to draw to get into your power bond. You have to be able, because we don't have a power bond searcher once again, so you have to play a lot of draw cards, as many draw cards as you can to try to get to it. And that's where Maxi comes in. You have to be able to get to that power bond. And that is all of the monsters, guys. That is 20 monsters. And for these spells, speaking of power bond, you have to play the 3 power bond because this doubles the attack of whatever it fusion summons. It's just so good. Like, just being able to fusion summon out that Rampage Dragon, which gets up to 4,200 attack, and then activate Rampage Dragon's effect on summon, pop back row, and then activate its effect to send monsters from your deck to the graveyard to be able to attack more. That is nuts. It's 4,200 that can attack 3 times, guys. And that's why this card is so good. Is because it's, it was good before that. With Cyber Twin Dragon, of course, but it's just even better now with Rampage Dragon, especially because Rampage Dragon is 1 Cyber Dragon plus any Cyber Dragon monster versus, Cyber Dragon plus Cyber Dragon. So yeah, Rampage Dragon is exactly what power power bond needed, like, to make it really, really good again. And then you play 3 desires to get to the power bond. And like, you know, I still see people that talk crap about desires. Seriously, like, what else do you play besides Pot of Desires? Do you play Pot of Duality and not get the special summon? No. Do you play card D and end your turn? No. Like, this is like this is what we have. I mean, granted, Pot of Greeds would be better. I mean, but we don't have Pot of Greed. We have this, so you have to play 3 of this to get to the power bond to get your win condition, you know. And then a Cyber Repair play. I need my second Ultra, but it looks so sick in Ultra. I'm so happy it came in Ultra finally. I mean, this deck just gets more and more foiled out. It's great. I'm really glad that Konami keeps, you know, foiling out this deck, and it keeps coming out with support for it. It's fantastic. I mean, even years after Cyber Dragon has come out, players still like the card. Players still like the deck. It's just a lot of fun. It's a really fun deck to play. And then I play 2 Machine Duplication. Only 2, and I feel like 2. I bounce back and forth between 2 and 3 Cyber Repair play. In this deck, I just wanted more room, so I cut the 3rd one. I just cut this down to 2. And this one, I mean, not only is it searchable with Core, you know, because, you know, normal summon Core search this, but I added more spell trap destruction in this one, plus the limiter removal. I actually added that back as well, because for a reason I'll explain in a second. But Machine Duplication, this is the power bond build. This doesn't, since we don't have Brilliant Fusion in this deck, it doesn't get out Core as often, you know, because you don't dump, you know, Core off of Brilliant, then do your shenanigans and summon Core, you know. 3 Machine Duplication is better in the Brilliant Fusion version of the deck. It's way more consistent, and that's why you play 3 of it. It's just better at 2. You don't want it to clog or anything. Same thing with Instant Fusion. You only play 2 Instant Fusion because you don't want it to clog either, but it is a good card. It really is a good card. And then you have to play your 1-ofs, Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, because, you know, nuke the board, get Kaijus. It gives you so much momentum. I love this card. I wish this card was still at 3 or at 2 or something. The deck would be so much better. This card's so good in this deck. I mean, in my opinion, this card is better in this deck than like any other deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! But that is just my opinion. Main decked anyways. Then Foolish Burial, because going second, which this deck wants to go second, you foolish out Core, banish Core, you know, then either Core for Machine Duplication, you know, or, you know, Core for Cyber Dragon, just whatever you want to do. It's really, really good going second. Upstart Goblin, because it's the only other draw card that we have that's decent besides Desires, you know. Raigeki, because it's Raigeki, it's board wipe. And then the limiter removal, because Masterpiece is a card, and I added this back because not only for the fan service, because everyone, like, every time I cut this card, people were like, what about limiter? I mean, it is fun. It is really fun. I mean, it gets you know, 4,200 times 2, so 8,400 attack. So 8,400 attack, you know, if you combine Rampage Dragon with Power Bond and limiter removal, that is pretty sick. Don't get me wrong. That's a lot of damage, plus, you know, 3 times with 8,400. That is pretty sick, and you do get that off sometimes. But the thing is, the more one-off cards you add to your deck, the more inconsistent your deck is. But in this case, this just kind of out stuff. I didn't want to main deck an Honest or something. I mean, even though Honest is a good card and you can actually technically pitch it off of, you know, Galaxy Soldier, which, you know, so it has some synergy in the deck. But limiter removal, I just like the limiter removal in this build. I'm just having fun with this one. So yeah, I added it back. You can special summon a Cyber Dragon, you know, then activate limiter removal and like swing over like literally anything. So and then we have my spicy tech, of course, the Reasoning, which gets you to like a Kaiju or whatever. Like your opponent's not gonna call. I mean, your opponent's gonna call 5 or whatever, and then, you know, Jizakuru is a 10, so you get a free Jizakuru out. It's just really, really good. And then I can't find my second Cosmic Cyclone. I have no idea where it went. So 2 Cosmic Cyclones instead of 3. What I did is I cut the 3rd one for the limiter removal for fun, really. I mean, just yeah, really honestly for fun, and because of, like, you know, it does, you know, swing over stuff. But yeah, Cosmic Cyclone, it banishes. It's better than Twin Twisters right now because, you know, spells and traps, you know, activate in the graveyard. You know, they banish themselves. They do things these days. I mean, Twin Twisters MST. I mean, it doesn't really cut it right now. You have to have the Cosmic Cyclones. I mean, some decks, you know, Twin Twisters is better. Like if you do happen to come across, you know, a back row dot deck playing, you know, 3 strikes, warning, you know, etc., etc. Then obviously, you know, Twin Twisters is the superior card, but for the most part, Cosmic Cyclone is the better card, and that is why I play it over Twisters. Alright, so for the extra deck, for your fusions, you have to have the Rampage Dragon, the thing that attacks 3 times with 4,200. Oh my gosh, it's so good, and it's spell trap destruction on the spot when it comes out. It's just fantastic. And then you play the new Mega Fleet Dragon, which is really, really good. And then here's what I forgot. So this gets rid of, you know, you have to have a Cyber Dragon, and then it gets rid of, you know, extra monsters from the extra monster zone, right? So this is a good card because it gets rid of extra monster zone stuff. But what I forgot about, I don't know why I forgot about this when I sent Team Sam my list, but I completely forgot Masterpiece was a card. I don't know why I forgot. Like, I guess I forgot that it didn't get banned or something. So I was testing, and then someone dropped a Masterpiece on me. I'm like, oh yeah. so basically, I mean, you main deck Kaiju, so Masterpiece isn't that big of a deal, you know. But I forgot to tell him, you know, since I forgot that, you still play the old school Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, because you Jizukiru, you know, your opponent's Masterpiece, for example, summon a Cyber Dragon, you can go into this, and that is why it's still good. I mean, you play just one of each. This gets rid of, you know, Firewall Dragons, you know, and all that other, you know, crap that you might want to get rid of, and then Fortress Dragon gets rid of, you know, main monster stuff. You know, it gets rid of. It gets rid of just anything. I mean, mainly Masterpiece. I was about to say Dark Destroyer, but Dark Destroyer is a machine. So I mean, yeah, Dark Destroyer is a machine, so that does work. So you summon a Cyber Dragon, you know, then go into this, and that does work. I was about to say Jizukiru, the Dark Destroyer, but that would be stupid. That'd be a waste of a Jizukiru. But yeah, you just have you know, the old school Fortress Dragon, and then the new Mega Fleet Dragon. I feel like 1-in-1 is a perfect ratio. So I'm bringing back this spicy tech in this build. If you guys do not remember, in the Power Bond builds of the past, I've explained this card. So this is a spicy tech I played for a long time. It's spicy tech I came up with a long time ago. You go into this off a Power Bond, and it only requires 2 machine type monsters with the same name. So 2 Cyber Dragons, you know, the whole deck Cyber Dragon, or, you know, 2 Galaxy Soldier, or even 2 Jizukiru. You go into this guy and then attacks directly for 3,200. Plus, it doubles as an instant fusion target. It is pretty good. It's a machine instant fusion target. So if you don't use it for the Power Bond, you can use it for the instant fusion. It's really good. Panzer Dragon, you know, obviously the instant fusion target, and if you wanted to, for whatever reason, you could let this die off of instant fusion, use its effect to pop something. It's very, very good. But those are the 6 fusions that you play right here. Those are the 6 fusions. And then for the Xyz monsters, the 2 Nova, because yes, it lets you go into infinity, and it lets you OTK, and it floats. I mean, you float into, you know, your Rampage Dragon, you know, when this dies. It's just, oh, it's so good. It's so good, you guys, so good. So yeah, this is just, it's amazing. I feel like this is like the best lineup so far. Pleiades, you still go into Pleiades sometimes. I can't will myself to cut Pleiades, especially since you're main decking Kaijus, because being able to Kaiju your opponent and then Pleiades that Kaiju back to your hand is just still so dirty, so good. Then Artifact Durandal. You go into it with the Gofu that's left, because what you do is you play the 2 Link Spiders and the Radiance, so you leave, instead of going into Decode Talker with the Gofu, you just use the tokens for Link Spiders, and then use the Spiders to go into Radiant, which leaves you with that level 5 Gofu, and then you can normal summon a Golden Jet, for example, and then use the Gofu and the Golden Jet to go into Durandal, and that lets you, you know, try to unbrick your hand. So I couldn't will myself to cut the Durandal either. I really couldn't. It's just such a good card. I couldn't will myself to cut it. You could try to squeeze in a Decode Talker, honestly. I haven't found the need for a Decode Talker. I feel like this is just fine, and yeah, I feel like this is just the best extra deck ratio in hindsight, after I sent, you know, after I tested some more. So yeah, I just feel like this is the best extra deck ratio for this deck. Now, the side deck, however, is not the best. It's not as optimal as it could be. There's the tokens, but yeah, I'm still playing Dinko just because it beats Paleo. That's the thing. It beats Paleo. You normal summon this. Plus, it is a light, you know, to pair with Galaxy Soldier, so it does have some synergy in the deck, and it's a blowout. You know, you normal summon this and you win. Plus, if you do have this, you know, plus, you know, 2 Cyber Dragons and a Power Bond in hand, it's a blowout, because you go normal summon and then Power Bond and just win, you know, because you just know TK. It doesn't come up. I mean, sometimes I feel like just playing 2 instead of 3, but I can't figure out what else to side. I mean, I'm siding Honest for fun. I can't figure out, you know, this Honest, like, outs, like, you know, anything. It swings over stuff. It helps with OTKs. It's just a good card all around. Lancia for like invoke stuff. Ghost Ogre for field spells, continuous stuff, like whatever. Ghost Ogre is just a good card. Plus, once again, it is a light, as is Lancia. You know, synergy in the deck, you know, with Galaxy Soldier. The main thing that I am firm about in this deck, I mean, the side, you can change, you know, whatever you want about the side. I wouldn't cut, you know, I would play Dinko's. Dinko does come up, and Dinko is pretty good. Ghost Ogres do come up, and Ghost Ogre is pretty good. If you find yourself playing against a lot of invoke stuff, Lancia is also very good. Plus, it is a level 5 light, so it does have synergy in the deck there as well, you know, it being a level 5 as well as a light. But something that comes up the most is going first in this deck, because of you OTK, so obviously you want to go second, but people will make you go first. They'll catch on to you, and they'll make you go first. So what you do is you side out like your Kaijus, like you side out your Slumber, always leave in a Jizukiru, but you side out your 3 Kaijus plus your Slumber, put these 4 in. It really helps you not die going first. I mean, you side in 2 Scoldings, Warning, Torrential Tribute. I find like these 4, like I just find like this is the best for me. You could also play Strikes if you wanted to, or whatever you want. I just find Scolding, since it has like more of like, you know, a range of what it can stop, I just find it, you know, to be better. And then like Twin Twisters. Honestly, like I find myself wanting to side something against Trickstars. You can side something for Trickstars, Hanwadas if you wanted to, because Hanwada is a light, but Hanwada is just like, I don't know. It's kind of a weird matchup with Trickstars, because Power Bond, if you don't kill him, Power Bond will kill you because of Power Bond's downside. Trickstars are just a really tricky matchup, pun intended. So yeah, it's just really weird. If you want to side against you know, Trickstars, you know, you side Hanwadas. It's just kind of like it helps you live, but it's not like a permanent fix for the deck. You can side, you know, Prime Material Dragon against Trickstars or whatever you want. I just call the matchup a wash. I'm like tired of playing against that. And then Twin Twisters. Twin Twisters is a fantastic card, and it is good against, you know, like I said, just back row heavy decks. You could take the Cosmic Cyclones out for these against certain matchups and have the deck run just fine, and that is why I side these. Plus, you know, Twin Twisters does give you, you know, discard fodder for Cyber Dragon Core, for example, that's in your hand. If your opponent has a monster, then, you know, then you banish the core and like do your thing from there. So Twin Twisters is a fantastic card. Side deck is definitely subject to change. Side whatever you feel is the best. I do recommend playing a Solemn Brigade though, because going first in this deck is terrible. It sucks. You want to go second. If you don't go second, you will probably lose, and this helps you not immediately lose. So guys, there's not very many combos I can actually show you with this deck, because Slumber is at 1, so you know, I've cut number 38. I didn't add like a rank 10 in. You know, I told Team Sam to add the rank 10 in, but since, you know, I ended up adding the Link monsters and stuff because of the Gofu, it like, you know, created, you know, this kind of bind for room in the extra deck, so everything kind of had to shift around, and I had to, you know, sacrifice, you know, the cool combo that I came up with a long time ago, you know, going into, you know, a rank 8, or, you know, or in I guess Mega Fleet's case, like a rank 10 off of a Slumber, you know, and a Cyber Dragon, because it's just not very viable with Slumber being at 1. It's very sad. So yeah, sadly, all I can really show you in this deck is like going second hands and just kind of hope for the best and hope that we can get an OTK, you know, or a Kaiju plus an OTK, or, you know, something like that. I mean, it's really all you can do. With this hand, what we're gonna do is, well, first off, draw the 6th card. So Upstart Goblin, very interesting. Let's go ahead and deck then, assuming our opponent has stuff. And then from here, so let's give ourselves a Kumungus, give them the Jizukiru. So now from here, you know, you can either activate Upstart first or Desires first. Let's go ahead and activate Upstart first to see if we can get that Power Bond. That would be pretty sick. But no, we didn't get it. But what we can do is deck them some more. So let's do that. Activate the Galaxy Soldier, get a search for another Galaxy Soldier, and then we'll Desires and banish 10, draw 2, and see if we can dig for that Power Bond plus a Cyber Dragon or something, just something, you know what I mean, so we can finish our hand up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 1 and 2. So we did get a pretty decent draw off of that. That's just kind of how it works. So we did get the Power Bond, but we need another Cyber Dragon off of the reasoning. So let's activate. Let's just assume our opponent knows that we're playing Cyber Dragons, because, you know, Galaxy Soldier, Kaiju. So let's activate the reasoning and assume that they call 5. So let's mill out and see what we get off of that. So bam, so that's just kind of how it works. So there's a core. So then what you do is you activate Power Bond, go into your Rampage Dragon. Like, that's your 1 extra deck monster. But like, I mean, that's OTK really, because you're gonna activate this effect. I mean, it just kind of goes on from there. So, you know, activate this effect to send Dry, and then send a Core, and then attack, and you just kind of win. That is if they don't have, you know, response or anything, because we didn't get Spell and Trap Destruction on that one. Technically this is Spell and Trap card destruction when it comes out, but we really want to see like a Cosmic Cyclone, or like, you know, if you are going against, you know, that kind of deck, you want to see, you know, Twin Twisters when he sided in. But let's go ahead and do one more test hand and see if we can, you know, get something that good again. That was actually pretty dang good. Let's shuffle up a few times and then cut, and then draw 6 cards and see if we draw decent. And that looks pretty decent to me. I don't know about you guys, but that looks pretty dang good to me. So you're gonna normal summon Core. I mean, it's just so good. So normal summon core, activate core, get cyber repair plant, activate machine duplication, summon all three. I mean, no. I thought we had two. For some reason, I thought I was activating two. So summon your cyber dragons from the deck. And then from here, you can go for the Power Bond OTK because you do have an extra Cyber Dragon in hand. That actually wouldn't be a bad idea, but I want to go ahead and, yeah, let's go ahead and Desires for fun because we could just, you know, Power Bond these two, go into Rampage. That wouldn't be a bad idea at all. You know, we can, there's just so many options, really. So those are gone. Then we could Cyber Repair Plant and, like, deck thin for, like, another core. And then activate the Desires after. And then, so let's just banish 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1 and 2. And then there's a Raigeki. I mean, really, that's just kind of how the deck goes. You just kind of have to pick, you know, what order you want to play things in. And that's really the only struggle behind playing Cyber Dragons, you know, the Power Bond version of Cyber Dragons. Is like, you know, since it's not a combo-based deck, you just have to kind of trust your gut and figure out what order you want to activate things in, and that's about all you could do, and just kind of really, you know, just kind of hope for the best. All right, you guys, that is the deck profile. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I would say that this is probably the funner version of the deck to play because it's kind of thrilling, you know, to try to see that Power Bond, to try to, you know, OTK your opponent. That's just always how Cyber Dragons have kind of played. They've always been a going second deck. They've always just been really, really fun, and I think that's why people have always resonated with them. Or maybe, you know, they're just fans of GX, you know, Zay and Truesdale, you know, and they're just reliving that. And that's cool too, you know, that is cool too. But go ahead and let me know what you're playing in Cyber Dragons down in the comment section. And as always, be sure to dick slap that like button and subscribe. Subscribe!